Saw safety, really important. Cast saws come in different styles, different sizes. They usually have a high setting and a low setting. So for this particular model, the middle is off. Then on one side is low, the other side is high. There are a couple key components we want to tell the patient. This will vibrate back and forth to create heat, and it won't cut you. So we turn it on and show them that it won't cut. We also want to tell the patient that if they start to feel heat, that they need to let us know, and then we know to keep moving along, okay? We want to make sure we have the cast saw spreader. They come in different shapes and sizes also. A pair of gloves and a scissors. Let it begin.
Start by removing any moleskin or tape that may be on the outside of the cast. Put on your gloves. For pediatric patients or adults with disabilities, consider providing ear protection to muffle the loud saw. Hold the saw with one hand, choke up toward the blade, and place one finger on the cast to balance. The other hand will be on the cast, so you can feel when you've made it through the layers. Turn the saw on.
Freeze! Let's review the basics. Every cast needs 2 cuts, one on each side. Avoid bony prominences and creases. That means in a short arm cast, make the cut in the first web space and along the radial side of the cast. Then go to your second cut on the ulnar side of the cast. For a long arm cast, start on the lateral aspect of the upper arm and go to the radial side of the forearm and wrist. Your second cut would start in the medial side of the upper arm to the ulnar side of the hand and wrist. For a short leg cast, the cuts would be on the medial side, behind the medial malleolus, down the medial side of the foot, then on the lateral side, down behind the lateral malleolus, along the lateral side of the foot. Pressure with the saw should go down and up. So when we hold on to it, we're going down and up, down and up, down and up as we go along the cast. Do not drag the saw, as this creates heat. Earlier we said this saw won't cut you. See, we touched it to the blade, but we know that it can burn the patient. So do not drag the saw. Let's watch.
I start by cutting in the first web space, choking up on the cast saw, going down and up several times to cut through all the layers. Then I move to the radial side of the wrist and forearm. I'm showing this video in real time and with the annoying noise so you can get an idea of how long this takes. After I make my first pass, going down and up, I make a second pass to get through all the layers. Then use the cast saw spreader to see if you got all the way through. If you did not, turn the saw back on to get through those last few layers. Next, move to the ulnar side of the cast. Notice I've choked up on the saw, I have the blade perpendicular to the cast, and I'm using my index finger to pivot off of as I travel in a straight path. This is one position to work on the ulnar side of the cast. Another option would be to have the patient rest on their elbow with their fingers pointing toward the ceiling. So you can see this only takes a few minutes. If you feel like it's taking longer, you're sweating, you're getting nervous, or the patient's getting nervous, just pause and tell them you're going to go check with a coworker, make sure everything is looking good with the saw. Sometimes we need to replace the cast saw blade. So this shouldn't take long. If it takes much longer than a couple minutes, we really risk burning the patient. Next, get your scissors ready. Remember to keep the tips up to avoid injuring the skin. Cut through the layers, first the layers of padding, then through the stockinette. You can use the cast saw spreader to help hold the cast open while you cut. Go little bit by little bit until you are finally through. Once you're through from one end to the other, finally have the patient slide their arm out of the cast. And you're done. More great how-to videos are located on YouTube. Subscribe now or check out OrthoRefresh.com. Thanks for watching.